My next guest is an honor. All of them are, but this particular guest, is an honor and joy to have. You've heard me talk about her on Word on the Street. I said we've had many things in common, but you already know it. I'm just going to say her name. She is here right now. Word on the Streets, hashtag She Talk. Miss Stacey Abrams, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a delight to be here.
So you, myself, and Michael Strahan have done something bold, okay? You already know where I'm going with this, right? We did something bold. We decided, we have this thing called a gap. And we decided that we're not going to close it and we're going to be bodacious and keep our gaps. Tell me, Stacey Abrams, I love it. Why did you decide to keep your gap?
I've had this gap my entire life. And early on, it was because my parents couldn't afford orthodontia. We were lucky to get to a dentist if something was really bad. As an adult, I thought about it, but it's a part of who I am. It's a part of my identity. It is an homage to my mom and my grandmother, and it works. I know there's some who would think otherwise, but I like my gap. It's worked for me, and we're going to be together as long as we can.
We are repping the gap, people. Stacey Abrams with us on hashtag She Talk. 2017, we all know what happened. You ran for governor of this great state. People would say, your critics say, that you still have not conceded that race yet. What do you say to the critics as you're running now in 2022 that you have not conceded 2017?
I did not win in 2018. And
2018, yes.
No, it's okay. I didn't win. But in 2018, I pointed out the challenges in the system, not for me, because no one running for office is entitled to victory, but every voter is entitled to a voice. But looking at 2022, we are now looking at a failed governor who has not led the people he was elected to serve. And so my issue is one of focusing on what can we do to ensure that for the next 4 years, the people of Georgia have the leader that they need, plans for leadership, and a leader who sees all of us, who sees one Georgia.
We're talking to Stacey Abrams, of course, running for governor for the great state of Georgia. I'm a preacher's kid. You're a preacher's kid. Tell me what it was like growing up with Reverend Robert and Carolyn Abrams.
So yeah, as a double PK, you get it from both sides. My parents were actually, my mom's a librarian, and my dad was a shipyard worker until I was 15. But as you know, even if your parents don't have the ordination, they're still preaching. And Absolutely. So I grew up with a very strong sense of faith, a very, very strong moral code, and a belief that you're supposed to do for others. My parents really take the central notion of service as part of our faith, as the core of what we do to live our faith every day. And I've tried to keep that with me. Finally, they got paid for it, or as much as you get paid as a Methodist minister in Mississippi. But my parents were committed to making sure that me and my 5 siblings, that we grew up with a faith tradition and a service tradition that did justice to who they wanted us to be.
You and I, if I went to your parents' church or vice versa, we would clash because my parents are holiness charismatic. We'd be running around the church. Can I assume that your church is pretty quiet, or are you shouting amen and running around and flipping too?
We were Baptist before we became Methodist, but we're still, as you know, we are adaptive. My church would be slightly quieter, but I could adapt very quickly to your church.
Okay, sounds good. Stacey Abrams joining us for hashtag She Talk. How has growing up in that atmosphere, being a preacher's kid, prepared you for where you are now in politics?
My mother, when she took on her first charge, said to me that her job was to meet people where they are, not where she wanted them to be. That the whole notion of service isn't about, and especially service in the faith, is not about telling people, we're going to talk to you because you're already saved. It's about finding you where you are and helping you on your faith journey. For me, it's about the same when it comes to politics. I can't stand for office saying everyone should agree with me and do what I do. My job is to say, where are you and where do you want to be and how can I help? So my faith journey and my service journey are the same. It's how can I help? What can I do to make certain that as the next governor of Georgia, I help you live your best life, be your best self, and build your community?
Stacey Abrams, speaking of being the next governor of Georgia, there are people like me. I just started a small business, small businesses have been affected by COVID. Why would Stacey Abrams be good for small business owners like myself, especially those who have lost a lot? Why would Stacey Abrams be good for Georgia for small business owners?
Because I've run a small business and I've watched a small business fail because of lack of capital, lack of access to customers. I know what it means to have the support you need to survive something beyond your control. The pandemic was not within anyone's control. And small business owners especially had to think about the balance between protecting your employees and making their payroll. And you don't get to do both if you don't have a lot of excess resources. And so one, I would have a plan for capital, making sure that we're getting resources into the hands of small businesses. And unfortunately, this governor did not do his job. Two, I would make certain that customers have multiple ways to get to you. And we have too many parts of our state that don't have access to broadband. So businesses that could have gone online couldn't reach their customers in that way. And then three, it's about commerce. It is about making sure we reopen, but reopen safely and in a sustainable way so that you're not putting your customers at risk in order to keep your business alive. Those are things I understand, and those are things I have done and will do as governor.
Stacey Abrams, my fellow PK here on hashtag She Talk on WSB Radio. Tell us something, Stacey, that people would be surprised to know about you.
That I am a country music aficionado.
Country music.
Country music. I love country music. Started listening when I was in high school. I told someone I hated country music. And for the first time, someone said, why? And I'm like, I don't know. So I made myself listen to country music for 2 weeks on the radio station, fell in love, and have been a fan ever since.
Do you have a tune you'd want to sing for us right now? What's your favorite?
Not if I want to get elected. No, thank you.
So you killed my other question, which was, what was your favorite genre of music? And I was going to take that and make it go viral if you sing.
No. So I
can your favorite.
I love country music, but here's the thing. I actually made myself listen to every station on the radio for 2 weeks each. And so there are a handful of genres I just don't do at all. But part of what I appreciate is that I like music from across the spectrum, and country music is one of those genres. But I'm also a huge fan of Ludacris. I have my pop fans. I love music, and I love people enough that I know I have a karaoke voice. I do not have a live on radio voice.
You don't want to do it just a little bit?
No. But you're really good. You're very compelling, but no, thank you.
Stacey Abrams with us. Recently, Governor Brian Kemp had a press conference, and he's pushing for constitutional carry. Where do you stand on that?
We are in the midst of a public safety crisis in this country. And it is not simply about the crimes being committed. It's about how safe we are in our own communities. Why we would make it easier for people who have felonies, who have mental illnesses, who have demonstrated a lack of responsibility, why we would make it easier for them to carry weapons. Why would we make it easier for our communities to be put in harm's way? Georgia already has some of the most relaxed gun safety laws in the nation. Why would we make it easier for people who don't abide by the law to come into this state and gain weapons that could put families in harm's way? I don't understand it, and I don't support it.
What's your favorite food, Stacey Abrams? If you had to eat one food literally for 6 months, that's it, what would you be eating?
I eat chicken.
Do you cook?
I do. I cook very, very often and pretty well.
That's kind of typical. I was talking to another African-American woman, and you say chicken. Is it fried? Just had to throw that out there.
It's everything. So here's the thing. Chicken is one of those blank canvases. You can make it into soup. You can make it into breakfast. It can be lunch. It can be dinner. If it's 6 months, chicken is something you can do a different way every day.
Stacey Abrams on hashtag She Talk on WSB Radio's Word on the Street. As a teenager, you're growing up and you're looking back at yourself right now as a teenager. What advice would Stacey Abrams in 2022 give to teenage Stacey Abrams?
He's not that cute. You are that good, and it will get better.
Stacey, when they are cute, and sometimes you kind of just overlook all the other stuff.
You do. You forget who you are, especially when you're a teenager. You just got to remember. But whatever the convincing is that's coming your way, he's not that cute.
Been there, done that. Speaking of, a lot of your critics feel as if that someone who is not married should not be running a state like Georgia. What are your thoughts?
I believe that the best leadership is leadership that cares about people, that likes people, and that understands their lives. I may not have my own children, but I've got 6 nieces and nephews. I have 5 brothers and sisters, and I'm the second oldest. But more than that, I take the time to listen and spend time with people, with families like my own and families not like my own. What people see as a proxy for marriage is a willingness to be in partnership, a willingness to compromise, a willingness to lead where necessary, and the ability to care about the next generation. And those are all things I not only do, but have demonstrated proof of.
MalaniKai, one-on-one with Stacy Abrams, running for governor of Georgia, as you already know. Stacy, why are you getting so much national attention? Why is the entire country fascinated with this lady named Stacey Abrams?
I would leave that to you, but here's what I will say. I appreciate the attention, but for me, it's more about the intention. It's the work that I try to do every day. It was responding to 2018, not by hiding, but by saying, even without the job, there's work to be done, and let me do that work. Let me try to settle medical debts for people who are being crushed by the weight of our healthcare system. Let me make sure that we are getting vaccines out to communities that are being overlooked by this governor. Let me work to make sure we deliver thousands of pounds of food, because food insecurity was rampant and inequity in our system is just too strong. Let me do the work of making sure that we had a strong census and that we've got voting laws that respect every single voter. That's the work that I do every single day. And I've done it in Georgia for Georgia, but we've been great. It's been fantastic because a lot of our work has been nationalized and we've been able to help in other communities. But my focus is here. My focus is the state. My focus is our people, and my focus is our future.
Who controls Stacey Abrams? And I'm asking that for the critics.
I control Stacey Abrams. The mistakes are mine. The successes are shared because you don't get to do these things without other people being a part of it. I make mistakes. I try to remedy those mistakes. I try to learn from those mistakes, but more importantly, I try to plan for better. And that's if there is a control, it is the belief that there is good to be done. I have a strong faith, but the Lord gave us autonomy and told us that we have the information. We've got to make our choices. And that's what I try to do every day.
Hashtag She Talk on WSB's Word on the Street. It's Stacey Abrams, the most influential person, or you could throw another one, persons in your life.
My mother and father, Robert and Carolyn Abrams, they raised me to believe that our economic circumstances were never going to dictate our future. They raised me to believe that you serve, that no matter how little you have, there's someone else out there and your job is to serve that person. They raised me to be resilient, that when you get knocked down, you get up, but you get up and you understand what happened and try to make sure that if you get knocked down again, it's for a different reason. But most of all, they raised me to believe that your responsibility is to make life better for the next person. That faith can't. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. No, go ahead.
Oh, that faith can't simply be something you talk about. It's a lived experience. That, as you know, faith without works is dead, and so you got to work at it.
You're trying to raise an offering on me, PK? You said, I don't have any money. I can cash out you. Stacey Abrams on the phone. We're going to wrap up if I don't wrap up, Seth said, if you keep her too long, she's never coming back on. He didn't say that. But I have a few more. I have
Sure.
One serious question, and then I want to do something called kind of like a rapid fire, where I'm going to just name 3 things and you just instantaneously pick one of those. But my question is for the undecided voters. A lot of undecided voters. I think I heard that since you ran last time, there are about 1 million plus new voters. What do you say to the undecided voters listening to you right now and to the 1 million plus who have registered since last time?
First of all, I want you to vote. I want you to vote for me, of course, but more than that, I want people to participate because our future is determined by those who get to speak up. And that's why I fight so hard for voting rights for everyone. Number 2, I want you to know that I feel your pain. We can hear statistics about how good things are, but if we don't feel it, if we don't see it, if it's not made manifest in our lives, then it isn't real. And I'm running for governor because I want to serve those who don't have the statistical proof that their lives are better, because they have family members who died from COVID, because their jobs aren't doing what they're supposed to, because we don't have Medicaid expansion and they don't have access to healthcare. I want to create jobs. I want to create opportunity. I want our children to have the best education. I want us to do what's right. That's why I'm running for governor. And so all I can say is listen to me, read about me, watch this campaign. November 22 is on its way. And over the next 11 months, I'm going to do everything in my power to show you who I am and who we can be together in the state of Georgia.
Stacy Abrams on #SheTalk. I expect to have you on throughout the year. So I've got more questions. We'll do those later. But right now, let's do what I call rapid fire. I'm going to name a few things off, and no rhyme or reason, fellow PK. Just go ahead and pick one of those out. Okay. Apple juice, orange juice, cranberry juice.
Apple juice.
Football, basketball, soccer.
Football.
Carpet, hardwood, or tile.
Hardwood.
Tea, coffee, hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate.
Plane, train, or boat.
Depends on who's the captain.
Take two, PK. Plane, train, or boat.
Plane.
Lion, tiger, or bear.
Lion.
Friday, Saturday, or Sunday.
Saturday.
And my last one, no, not. I have one more. Comedy, drama, or action.
Action.
Here's the last one, and I want you to answer this one really, really fast. Dragon, unicorn, or mermaid.
Dragon.
There we go. Stacy Abrams, thank you so very much for coming on. At least I know it's your first time on our show, Word on the Street, for coming on WSB Radio. We expect to hear more from you, follow your campaign. I know your schedule is busy, so thank you so much. Where can people find out more about Stacey Abrams and her campaign?
Go to StaceyAbrams.com and you'll learn everything you need to know. We'll be updating the site regularly.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.